It's my favorite time of day in Disney World. Let's go have the best night in Hollywood Studios. Hey man fam, I am back with episode 2 of our series dedicated to people like me. The people that do not like getting up early, the people that don't want to rope drop, the people that want to sleep in. Maybe you had a nice pool day at your resort. Maybe you flew in today. Maybe you just don't want to get up super early on vacation. This series is for you. I am here at Disney's Hollywood Studios for the last 3.5, 4-ish hours that it's open, and we are gonna have an amazing time. Now, this is gonna be a little bit different than the Animal Kingdom video. This park has a completely different vibe, but I'm gonna show you why nighttime is my favorite time in Disney World. Let's get to it. Now, if you tuned in for the Animal Kingdom version of this, you know the appeal of going to Animal Kingdom in the afternoon is that it's luxuriating. It is relaxing. A lot of people go to Animal Kingdom in the morning and leave in the afternoon, so you don't even need to purchase Genie Plus if you go to Animal Kingdom in the evening time. I was able to walk on essentially Kilimanjaro Safaris, Expedition Everest, Dinosaur. The only thing I paid for was Flight of Passage. That's not quite the same vibe here at Hollywood Studios because one, this park has a lot of bangers. There are a lot of really popular attractions that have pretty long waits no matter what time of day it is. And two, unlike Animal Kingdom, this park has a very popular nighttime spectacular. The nighttime spectacular Fantastmic is part of the reason that nighttime at Hollywood Studios is my favorite, but it also is a big reason why there are still crowds here in the evening time. So because of that, in order to maintain the luxuriating feel that I prefer when I go to the parks, I did purchase Genie Plus and I stacked a bunch of lightning lanes. Now this isn't gonna be a full Genie Plus explanation. I actually just did a series on Genie Plus where I went to each of the 4 parks, did a video in each park explaining the best ways to use Genie Plus, everything you need to know. But what I will quickly say as we head to our first attraction is that stacking is an amazing way to both use Genie Plus and enjoy yourselves at a park in the afternoon or evening. Basically, you can book your first Genie Plus attraction starting at 7 a.m. and then you can book your next attraction either A, after you've used it, if it expires, or after it's been 2 hours. Now that 2 hours kicks off once the park officially opens, which means that you can book an attraction at 7 a.m. Hollywood Studios this morning opened at 8:30, which means I could book another one at 10:30, 12:30, 2:30, 4:30, etc. So at 7 a.m. this morning, I booked Slinky Dog Dash, and then when I was able to, I booked Tower of Terror, and then Rock and Roller Coaster. And you may have to keep up with them and modify them, which I go over in all the Genie videos. But ultimately, you walk into the park with a nice stack of multiple lightning lanes ready to go for your evening. And the first one we're tackling today, Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. Wait, I have a magic band on. Thank you.
You all set?
Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith is a roller coaster, as the name might suggest, where you listen to Aerosmith, the singers of the soundtrack of the 1998 hit film Armageddon. Rock and Roller Coaster is very popular, as illustrated by its 50-minute wait right now, and it's got a 48-inch height requirement, making it the tallest in Disney World theme parks. And part of the beauty of Rock and Roller Coaster is you don't know what song you're gonna get. Each of the different ride limos have different Aerosmith songs. My favorite is Love in an Elevator, which they conveniently changed the words at the end to be Love in a Roller Coaster. I hope we get that one today.
Hey, don't mind us. We'll be finished in just a minute.
Hey, what are you guys still doing here? You were supposed to be at a show. We're working out.
I'd like to introduce our lovely manager.
Yeah, she's usually not like this, folks.
Yes, she's usually.
Rock and Roller Coaster, check. 0 to 60 takeoff gets me every time, and you go straight into a loop-de-loop. It's a great attraction, and I always have fun when I ride it. And now I have stacked next door to be our second lightning lane today. Right next door, we've got Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, another classic thrill ride, a very popular attraction. It only has a 40-minute wait right now, which is really not that long, but it's gonna be even shorter when we get to the lightning lane. Thank you. Thanks. I will not enjoy my stay, probably. It's a spooky place to stay. Tower of Terror is a 40-inch height requirement, and it's that drop attraction, which a lot of people love and adore. In fact, it's a lot of people's favorite ride, not only in this park, but all of Walt Disney World. And I can see that. It's an amazing attraction. The Imagineering is wonderful. The detail, that's my favorite part. I think the queue here and just the detail and the setting throughout the tower, outside on the grounds and in the lobby, it's unbelievable. Also, here's your monthly-ish reminder that the cobwebs here and at Haunted Mansion are made out of skin cells. Basically, they use a hot glue-like substance and drape it on the chandeliers and the light fixtures and everything, and then natural things like dust and skin cells and hair cling to it. So, you're welcome. Also, this is one of my favorite details. If you look at the directory, look down, and it says, "Take the stairs." Amazing.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination, a dimension of mind. You're moving into the Twilight Zone. Now, something is about to happen that will change all that. The Twilight Zone. That door is opening once again. This time, it's opening.
Oh, wow. That was a good run, too. The drop sequence is randomized, so you never know if you're going to go up first, down first, how long it's going to be. It was delightful. Everybody in there was having a good time. And now, you know what? We've been on 2 amazing rides back to back, and I think we need a little snacky snack. Snack acquired. Yes, it's a snack. I do not stand with Max and Alan's negativity when they try and tell me a cold brew is not a snack. Because IMO, a cold brew is breakfast. It could be lunch. It could be a snack. It could be the reason that I don't yell. It could be the reason that I'm calm in traffic. Could be so many things. But it's also everything. Also, eat breakfast and lunch. Don't not eat and just drink coffee. That's us being hyperbolic. Anyway, it's pumpkin creme brulee cold brew season, the greatest season of all. It is the pumpkin coffee that they serve at Joffrey's during the fall. And they've got fancy pumpkin coffees. They've got a pumpkin pie latte and a couple other things. But I just get the pumpkin creme brulee cold brew black. It's not really listed anywhere, but just ask for it. And it's cold brew that's flavored with pumpkin. It's divine. It's better than Starbucks or Dunkin' in my opinion. And now, I think it's time to go meet a friend or an enemy. It's no secret that I'm not a huge Star Wars girly. I've seen all the movies, like the main ones, and most of the offshoot ones. And I appreciate Star Wars. But you know, I've been working on our Star Cruiser video, and I got a hankering for that galaxy far, far away. And there was a meet and greet here in the back of Hollywood Studios in Star Wars Launch Bay. And I feel like people don't know is here. And it's like the coolest meet and greet in all of Disney World, maybe? Feels dramatic, but for some people, that probably isn't. Here in Star Wars Launch Bay, not only can you see props and concept art and cool things like that from the films, but you can also meet 3 characters, Chewbacca, BB-8, and Darth Vader himself. Now be aware that Launch Bay does typically close earlier than the park. Today it's closing at 7 and the park doesn't close till 9. So if you want to meet these characters, make sure you are here before that time. Also note that their lines can get a little long. Earlier today, Darth Vader and Chewbacca were both at 45 minutes. At one point I saw Chewbacca at an hour. So it's 25 minutes right now for Darth Vader, which isn't too bad. About 30 minutes before this place closes. Hello.
Perhaps your destiny lies with the Empire. We shall see. Quickly.
The Darth Vader meet and greet is so good. Like, he is scary. Like, He's tall and he's got the breathing and he is scary. And he asked if I was his ally and he said not to meet him as an enemy. So, you know what? I'm a Slytherin, wrong franchise, wrong theme park, but that means I adapt to my surroundings. And despite wearing this hat right now, you bet I'm on his team when I'm in front of him. But now, let's flip this little ditty around and head to our next attraction, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. This is another attraction that I stacked when I was making these Lightning Lane bookings throughout the day. And TBH, I love this attraction. I think it is so cute. I know people are mad at it for replacing the Great Movie Ride, but it's really adorable. It doesn't have a height requirement, which I think this park needed. There's just this and Toy Story Mania that don't have height requirements as far as actual rides go, but yet it's still fun and it's thrilling and it's exciting. And really its only flaw is goofy.
Ride on the train? Excuse me, you lady. Do you mind helping these good people into the cartoon while I fix this here locomotive?
One, two, three. Oh, excellent! You're all waltzing so beautifully together.
Relaxing ride around the park. And thanks for staying with me. Told you nothing was gonna go wrong.
That ride just puts the biggest smile on my face. And I got in my favorite car, which is the fourth car. What I love about the trackless technology is that you get a little bit different view depending on which vehicle you get in. And if you get in the fourth car, well, what starts as the fourth car, the back car, you get the best view of the B plot of the ride, which is Pluto trying to give the picnic basket back to Mickey and Minnie. It's kind of sad because Pluto looks so upset a few times when he can't catch up to them, but it makes the end so much sweeter when Mickey and Minnie are having their picnic basket. And even though Mickey is serenading Minnie like Ken in the Barbie movie, it's just so sweet, and I love Pluto. So look for that next time you're on the ride. You can see that best if you're in the fourth car. But now, we're headed to the galaxy far, far away. Passing Muppet Courtyard and headed into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But you know, I just can't help but wish there was more Muppets in Disney World. I saw this Muppet shirt the other day, but they didn't have my size, only an extra small. So I'm gonna hopefully see if they have it later. But I just feel like we need more Muppet representation. And I often think about the fact that they were gonna create Muppet Land in this park, and it was gonna have Gonzo's Pandemonium Pizza Parlor, where robotic chickens from the Muppets were gonna be the chefs along with the rats, and animatronic rats were gonna bring you your pizza. And I wouldn't even care if it was gross puffy pizza like at Pizza Rizzo if an animatronic rat brought it to me. So maybe one day Disney will bring that dream to us. Maybe one day. But for now, let's go ride the most technologically advanced ride Disney's ever built in Walt Disney World. It's time to head on Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance right now only has a 50 minute wait, which is pretty low for this attraction. It's usually well over an hour. The other night while I was here, it had dropped all the way down to 30 minutes, which is bonkers. And I'd recommend that, waiting till the end of the night to jump in line if you don't want to see Fantastmic, which I do. So I did purchase the Fancy Ride Lightning Lane today, but 30 minutes is pretty low. 50 minutes is pretty low. I could do the 50-minute standby line and then still make Fantastmic, but we got other plans tonight. This is that incredible attraction that puts you in the middle of the battle between the First Order and the Resistance. It is the inspiration behind my hat today, and it is just such a cool attraction. It blows my mind every time. It has a 40-inch height requirement by length, 40, so it's not super high. It's not super thrilling as far as like roller coaster or anything like that, but it is unbelievable.
Transport's waiting to take you to General Organa's secret base on Pucara.
down your shields and prepare to be boarded.
I have a bad feeling about this. Stand back from those doors.
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, those are the prisoners.
Detention block breach. Prisoners last seen on level D.
Sound the alarm. All personnel to their stations.
It's the best. Although, Kylo Ren was a little sweepy tonight. He wasn't really feeling himself, but still the best. Also the best, riding it with people that have never been on it before. There was this group that was in my inspection room, and they were so blown away by everything when you escape the interrogation room, when you see the stormtroopers for the first time, the drop, like, it was clear they had no idea what was coming, and they all had their lightsabers, and like, it was just awesome, because I mean, this ride's amazing, but it was like extra awesome to ride it alongside some people who had never ridden it before, and just like listening to them get excited, like, it was great. Hold on. I adore this land in the evening. How beautiful is it? Like the marketplace with all the lanterns. It's so beautiful in here, and it's not super crowded usually in the evenings. Another pro tip is to book an Oga's Cantina reservation late at night, and you can come through here after the park's closed. It's usually open until 10, an hour after the park, and you can see a basically empty Galaxy's Edge and get cool pictures with the Millennium Falcon. We're not doing that tonight though, because I want to see Fantastmic, and you're cutting it really, really close if you try and do both. But what we are doing is making a little pit stop here at Kat Saka's Kettle to get one of my favorite snacks in Disney World. We're not gonna eat it right now, we're gonna save it, but we're gonna pick it up on the way to our next spot. Picked up my favorite, the Kat Saka's Outpost Mix. It's a sweet and spicy popcorn mix that kind of tastes like spicy trick cereal, and it's literally one of my favorite snacks in all of Disney World, even though it's kind of divisive, but I'm obsessed with it. And why get regular popcorn at Fantastmic when I could bring this? So I'm not gonna eat it now. Well, I'm not gonna eat most of it now. I need to eat enough of it so that I can close the bag and put it in my fanny pack. From one beautiful land and night to the next, made it into Toy Story Land and headed to our final attraction of the evening, Slinky Dog Dash. This is the most popular ride in the park on Genie Plus. And of all, if you check out the most recent ride challenge video we did, I did most and least popular rides in each park based on their wait times, and Slinky Dog Dash took it from Rise of Resistance, which is bonkers, but you can go check that video out if you'd like. But considering we're looking at a 100-minute wait right now with about 40 minutes left of park time, Slinky Dog Dash has a 38-inch height requirement. It's a family coaster, but it's super duper cute. I actually really like it. I have a lot of nostalgic memories attached to it because of my nephew Paxton and because of the very long queue. And that is why I recommend, if you're purchasing Genie Plus, that Slinky Dog Dash be the first one you book right at 7 a.m. I initially booked it for like the 5 o'clock hour, and then I modified it to be at night because one of my favorite parts about being in this park in particular at night is how beautiful Toy Story Land looks. It's not nearly as hot as it is during the day without any shade, and it is just beautiful at night with all of the Christmas lights and decorations and everything lit up. So if you can, ride this one in the evening. Now, before we leave Toy Story Land and start working our way over towards sunset again, we're picking up another snack because it's been 13 minutes since I ate something. And there is a new lunchbox tart here at Woody's Lunchbox. This is the quick service restaurant in Toy Story Land. It's super cute. They're known for their tachos, their grilled cheese, and their lunchbox tarts, which are basically fancy Pop-Tarts. They usually have the raspberry one, and then they have a seasonal, which is right now a sweet potato one. I gotta try it. Now, Woody's Lunchbox is very popular, so I recommend if you want to mobile order earlier in the day, especially at peak mealtime. This little restaurant fills up quick. But I love coming at night because 1, it's usually less crowded, and 2, it's 1,000 degrees in Andy's backyard, and you don't feel that if you come at night. Well, not as much. I still have a sweat stash. It is still Florida in August, after all. Here's my treat. It's the sweet potato lunchbox tart. It's got like sweet potato pie filling and candied nuts and toasted marshmallows on top. And y'all, literally 3 different cast members told me this is the best one they've ever had. Better than the blueberry lemon, better than the pumpkin one last year. In fact, the manager said this one tastes more autumnal and fall than the pumpkin one. We're gonna see. We're gonna see about that, because I am a basic girly who loves everything pumpkin. Let's try this. Okay, here we go. Cheers. Wow, okay. I did not think it could possibly have competed with the pumpkin, but that is a darn tasty treat. I love the crunch from the candied nuts on top. You can taste the kind of burntness of the marshmallow because it's been toasted. The filling is cinnamon and nutmeg and very autumnal, and it's sweet because it's sweet potato, but it's not as sweet as some of the other fruit fillings. The crust is flaky and buttery as always. Yeah, my basic heart just lost a nut. My joy was taken so quickly. You should eat this if you like them. But you should eat this if you also like fall flavored things. Oh, wow, that was a real delight. Now there's about 12 minutes left of the park officially being open, but Fantastmic is starting 30 minutes after the park opens, so in about 45 minutes. It's not super busy today. It's the off season, school just went back in. So I'm thinking I'll be fine showing up to Fantastmic like 30 minutes before it starts. I might not get the best seat in the world, but I've been doing all this other fun stuff. Plus, we're gonna make one more pit stop on our way to the Hollywood Hills Amphitheater. We're gonna make just the quickest little pit stop here at the Brown Derby Lounge. This is one of my favorite places to sit back, relax, and luxuriate in Hollywood Studios. And honestly, had I not stacked so many rides, I probably would have sat here for a cocktail earlier. But what some people don't realize is they also have a to-go bar. So you can get something to go, which we're gonna do. So we have a cocktail to go with our popcorn, which is my girl dinner tonight for Fantastmic. Cocktail acquired, of course, it's an old fashioned. I was between this and getting just a beer, and the bartender was like, no, let's do an old fashioned, and that's all it took. Now I'm headed down Sunset Boulevard, which is also more beautiful at nighttime. Just look at the tower all lit up. Gorgeous. And we're headed to the Hollywood Hills Amphitheater for Fantastmic, which is my favorite nighttime spectacular in all of Disney World. Fantastmic is about a 25-30 minute show, and it combines live stage performers, fireworks, water effects, lasers. It's the story of your friend and mine, Mickey Mouse, and he learns about the power of imagination, both good and evil. It's the show that has Maleficent the dragon. It has scenes from The Lion King. It has the princesses. When it reopened after the closure, they added a new section with Moana and Mulan and Frozen. It's Disney magic. And I actually haven't seen it in a while, and I'm super excited. Now, there's no way to skip the line or reserve seating at Fantastmic with Genie Plus. There used to be, on FastPass, you could book this as a FastPass and you got a reserved section. Nowadays, if you want to reserve seating, you have to do the dining package, which is a meal at one of the sit-down restaurants, and they give you a voucher to come get reserved seating. If it's really busy and you really want to guarantee you have a good seat, I recommend doing it, especially if you are already going to eat at one of those restaurants. But it's pretty pricey, and if it's not super busy, you can usually get here 30-45 minutes before showtime and still get a seat. During busy seasons though, I recommend getting here at least an hour in advance. And if there's ever 2 showings a night, the second showing is gonna be less crowded. I am in the section all the way to the left-hand side if you're looking at the stage. It's about 9, 10, or 12 right now, so the show's gonna start in a little more than 15 minutes. Obviously, if you want a better seat, get here earlier or book the package, but I think this is perfect for walking in like 25 minutes before the show starts. But again, it's not a busy season right now. I gotta say though, getting my own drink and popcorn prior to the show was the move. The lines for the concessions here are very long and everything's pretty basic. They've got regular popcorn, they've got pretzels, a couple beers, sodas, I think Mickey bars. But if you want something more unique or you don't want to wait in that line, grab your snacks before you come in here. Is there a better way to end our night at Hollywood Studios than with Fantastmic, a brown derby old fashioned, and Cat Sakis popcorn? I don't think so. It does not get any better than Fantastmic. It is just the most wonderful show. I get teary when Elsa shows up. I get teary during Moana. The bubble montage is one of my favorite parts. I get super teary when Steamboat Willie drives a steamboat out, and then when Mickey shows up at the end, some imagination, huh? It's the perfect way to end your day in Hollywood Studios. But unfortunately, it's tonight. It's coming with a Don't Be a Jerk in the Park PSA. I wish it wasn't, but something happened tonight that I had not experienced in this volume. And I understand that some people cannot stand in crowds. I understand that people do not like being in crowds of people and that it triggers an actual response from people. I'm not talking to you. If you have anxiety or panic in crowds, I'm not talking to you right now. Who I am talking to is every guest that does not have those issues and has seen this show before and decides they don't want to wait in the 10,000 people leaving this amphitheater at the same time when the show's over, so they get up and start leaving when the steamboat comes out. I have never seen so many people leave at the same time. And it literally blocked the view of everybody trying to still watch the show in my section. To the point where then guests that are still trying to watch the show start standing up so that they can see over the people that have decided that they don't want to wait in the crowd to leave. And then those people are now blocking the people behind them even more, and it was a ripple effect. It was a steady stream of people from the time Mickey appeared as Steamboat Willie until the steamboat got in front of me. I literally couldn't even see it to film it for half the time. And like, I've seen this show 100 times, so what do I care? But there are guests that have never seen this show before. The guest in front of me had never seen the show before. We were talking before it started, and he could not see the steamboat, which is arguably the best part of the show. It is the finale of the show. So if you are not planning on sitting down for the whole show, sit in the back. Sit in the back. If you want to get up when the steamboat comes out because you don't want to put your patient pants on and walk out of here with everybody else, sit in the back. Because hundreds of people's view of this show got ruined because of people like that. And I'm mad. I'm mad. I don't know, maybe I should be mad. Maybe that's not something to be mad about, but it's ridiculous. And again, if you need to leave because of some kind of medical disorder, that is completely different. And speak to the cast members, because they may be able to put you in a different section. I love coming to these parks, and I love things like when I ride Rise of the Resistance with people that have never been on it before, and the joy, but I also watch people just be so inconsiderate of their fellow guests. And imagine it was your first time seeing Fantastmic and you don't get to see the steamboat section. Just think about it. Came through the side exit of Fantastmic, and some of the shops are still open, so I'm gonna just pop in and walk through and see if maybe they have that Muppet shirt I really want. Also, this is cute. Greetings from a galaxy far, far away. Let's see if we can just put a little cherry on top of our amazing evening. Okay, I don't see it in this store, but mayhaps the ones on Hollywood Boulevard will have it. It's just like a normal t-shirt, but it's got the Muppets on it, and they're so underrated. Checking the stores here on Hollywood. Before I go in, another one of my favorite little details at night are all of the signs lit up, all the neon signs that remind you of old school Hollywood. But my favorite one, well, two. I love the Mickey watch, it looks amazing at night, but the best one is good boy Pluto up here who's wagging his little tail. Look up next time you're here at night. Made it into Mickey's of Hollywood. This is one of the stores on Hollywood Boulevard. It's the one that's gonna have the most apparel. Has some lounge flies and toys as well. Across the street is where you're gonna have more ears, home goods, mugs, and kitchenware and things like that. There's not a huge store in this park, but these two together kind of create the superstore. Let's see. Okay, we've got this most magical thing on Earth. Everything's better at Walt Disney World. This nice Boba Fett one. I do like this one, the kind of like pastel Disney. Let's see what else we've got. Classic, classic, classic. I like this one too, but it's yellow, and yellow is not for me. Okay, we've got the Halloween Walt Disney World one. That one's cute. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Oh my gosh, it's here. It's here. Let's see, it seems like they have a decent amount of sizes too. Big. It looks like this. Obsessed. They don't have a medium, which is my size if I'm wearing like true to size, want it like to fit. Often I get things too big and I wear them like with leggings and stuff around my house, but I just grabbed a large and I'll wear it with a skirt or whatever. Oh my God, it's so cute. The perfect way to end the day. Also, I'm getting Alan this one because these are the t-shirts that if you buy two, they're less expensive and you can stack your pass holder discount on top. And red's his favorite color, and I think he'll like just the like classic look. I know it has sleeves, but he can wear it in the fall times. With the purchase of yet another Disney t-shirt, but in my defense, had the Muppets on it. So I think justified. Also, Alan's still working on his collection. He's not quite on my level of Disney t-shirts yet, so we needed to bulk that up for him, but also the Muppets. You get it. On our amazing evening here in Disney's Hollywood Studios, I truly love coming to the parks at night. I am by nature not a morning person, so while I appreciate and encourage people to rope drop if they're here on vacation and they don't come very often, or they don't want to purchase Genie Plus, absolutely do it. But there's something so beautiful about being in these parks at night. Not only do you have nighttime spectaculars at 3 of the 4 parks, but it's cooler during the evening time. A lot of lands are even more beautiful, or they look completely different. They'll give you a completely different perspective if you visit them at night. Lands like Galaxy's Edge, Toy Story Land, even the Chinese Theater. It looks amazing, and I think better at night. Of course, if you come in the evening, you do miss some things at Hollywood Studios. You're gonna miss some of the characters. You're gonna miss some of the live entertainment, like Beauty and the Beast or Indiana Jones. So if those things are important to you, obviously you should come earlier in the day. But if it's your check-in day, if you have been multiple times, if you're having a luxurious pool day, or you're park hopping, you can get a lot done at this park in the evening alone. In just about 4 hours in Hollywood Studios, we did 5 of the most popular attractions in Walt Disney World, 4 of them stacked on Genie Plus, 1 of them a fancy ride. Yes, you have to get up early to start the stack and you have to keep up with it, but it does make it a lot more luxurious to just come into the park knowing you've got a bunch of rides booked. And I could have kept going, but I wanted to meet characters. We got to meet Darth Vader. I got a couple of different snacks, a cocktail, and we ended the night with my favorite nighttime show, Fantastmic. So I would say This is a pretty perfect evening. Let me know, are you a night person or a morning person? Do you want an episode of this at Epcot and Magic Kingdom? Do you want a Universal episode? Let us know all of that down in the comments. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow us on social media. Please come hang out with the Man Fam at Discord. And until next time, friends, I'm Molly, and it has been so magical. Good night.